Hey friends, welcome to Ascending Thoughts. Hope you all are doing good. I have been following both RedPill content and radical feminist channels to see what these two groups are up to. It seems nothing good. Both remain virulent, pushing and turning men and women against each other. The whole thing made me go down the rabbit hole again, and I thought, why not talk about this? At the heart of this phenomenon of gender conflict, amped up from 2010, is the Red Pill movement and the fourth wave feminism. I regularly see male rhetoric among common public turning hostile to women by the day thanks to rabid red pillars. Modern feminism anyway have been long toxic against men. I feel that this is pushing humanity into outright conflict. There is a conflict between men and women. The experts do have a term for this: gender antagonism, a measure of the frequency and degree of animosity that members of a certain population have towards any generalized notions of genders is called gender antagonism. Or, to put it simply, how hostile men are towards women and how resentful women are towards men. Not only is there anger and bitterness, but also disdain, exasperation, and collective or generalized blame. In this dark world, gender prejudices, dressed as feminism and red pill, often poses as your lone ally. Naturally, they are not your pals. Gender animosity corrodes emancipatory movements. Feminism has turned into a cult for anti male prejudice and a vent for women who harbor deep hatred and bitter anger towards men in general. Men that hate women turn into red pillars and congregate around overtly inflammatory gurus who disparage women and so on. Modern feminism asserts that women should be able to work in a male dominated fields as to perform the same task as men. It is all well and good, but what worries me is the feminist insistence that acting like a delinquent man is the only way to be called a strong woman. The feminists of today overlook the fact that there are millions of women worldwide and that many of them are content with their gender roles. Furthermore, a lot of these women identify as religious, and feminists gloat about how patriarchy is to blame for all of these women's oppression. Feminists believe that any woman who prioritizes her marriage and children over her career is oppressed. I had assumed that feminism was about giving women the freedom to choose, including possibilities for those who choose to pursue careers. However, feminists assert that the only way for a modern woman to be valuable is to have a career, especially one that requires her to work in a masculine profession. Radical feminism should be called out vehemently. These group of women who call for extreme violence against men just because of their gender should be called out. They also believe that entire male gender should be blamed for the actions of a few, which goes against the foundation of justice. There were some vile hashtags on social media circulated by radical feminists that were completely abhorrent. The first and second wave feminists would shudder at these type of rhetoric as all they envisaged was an equal society where women will be treated fairly and with respect. The first two waves of feminism were a necessity in many countries as the situation of women were pathetic. I consider those women to be human rights activists as a society or country that does not respect women is bound to fail. I myself can identify a lot with the works done with these ladies, but can no longer support the extreme tone of the new waves as it goes against my personal ethics. Then there is the TRP or the Red Pill community. They appears to be a fundamentally contradictory one that is primarily composed of men who hold controversial views on women, yet its primary goal is to draw and entice as many women as they can. In general, men in the Red Pill community declare that they desire to become the alpha. They claim that they are actively assisting male youths and men in self improvement and gaining confidence. The concept is a sound one, but the way it is carried out is horrid. A true alpha's purpose should be to better other people, not to denigrate men and despise women. Encouraging men to become better men is a good thing, but the red pill appears to be doing it in a combative and hostile manner. It appears like they are a little too outspoken in their labels of being alphas and betas, and they don't seem to have the mindset of wanting to include more people in their group. It appears to be more polarizing than unifying. I feel that the ignored male victims are usually forced into the arms of these red pillars and manosphere because of the legal system's utter disregard for the cruelty that many male spouses endure at the hands of their abusive wives. They will be further taken advantage by some red pill mentors selling dubious courses to help them become the so called alphas and in the name of improving their lives. To me, the red pill is nothing more than nihilism, where nothing is hopeful and you will never be content or happy. This is the standard case of red pill, where they say your life is meaningless and hopeless, and it is all because of women. What makes the red pill a bit evil is that they give incels someone to vent their rage and hatred towards women, just like the modern feminism. Laws are mostly skewed in most democracies in favor of women. So, when Indian men who reported DV, they were mistrusted. Furthermore, no one listens to these men when they try to speak about issues in their marriages and families. Many men feel embarrassed to discuss or disclose that their wives assault them. Underreporting may have occurred for a variety of reasons, including the belief and hope that things would gradually improve. Also, there is the fear of losing custody of offspring, and love and respect from their family and friends, and the dread of being placed at fault. Men's complaining may be viewed in the male dominated Indian society as feminine behavior. There have been many cases where young men with good qualifications are kidnapped and forced into an arranged marriage against their will in numerous Indian states. False accusations of SA and other offences against men are also frequent. Because women are typically viewed as the so called weaker sex by the Indian law and society, false accusations of SA and other crimes are frequently made against men. This is accurate in cases involving fake dowries and domestic abuse cases against males under 498A, as stated by multiple court hearings throughout their procedures. I also feel that divorce lawyers are slyly engineering a gender conflict which benefit them, and what benefits them is directly detrimental to the fabric of society as a whole and to children in particular. The result will be disastrous for our society. In the past, a woman seeking to divorce her husband had to provide evidence of his wrongdoing. It is unfair that a woman can now leave her husband for any reason and still be entitled to benefit from him for years to come due to changes in the law. Divorce rules in most democratic countries, including India, are tilted against men due to the historic abuse women have suffered. Unfortunately, many women are now misusing it to punish their husbands and in laws as revenge or out of misandry or simply because they can. The Supreme Court of India recently stated many women are abusing the laws, depriving real female victims of justice, and victimizing many innocent men. The Supreme Court division bench recommended that government should re-examine these laws to make it gender neutral and justice oriented. We live in a time when boys and men are expected to be more open. So how can we expect them to do so when they are also being told that their emotions are not important? Misandry is a legitimate bias that needs to be acknowledged, just like any other. It is time to confront those who treat men with disdain. In the modern world, gender disparity is blatantly evident in practically every nation with a bias primarily towards women. However, feminism that acts in a way that is antagonistic to men is not the answer. Same goes for the red pill community. Hating women and generalizing their behaviors isn't the way to go ahead. If we are working against inequality, then we should have compassion for all genders. Because of the way nature made men and women, every one of us has unique strengths and weaknesses that do not make us any less valuable than the others. Since we all are human beings, we require and desire one another. I prefer equality and humanism over radical feminism and the red pill. Perhaps if we embrace misandry and misogyny as realities of life and work towards erasing it, young men and women will be drawn away from these radical feminists and toxic red pillars. They can become valuable members of our society. Assist the true victims and punish those, regardless of the gender, who abuse the law out of blind hatred with exemplary punishment. So, what do you guys think? Leave your opinion in the comment section. For more content like this, like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.